name is Ellie.
I'm Kinley.
And we're Spring Air. We'll be playing Musette by Chaim Volksman. We hope you enjoy it.
I love so many things about the way that you play this piece. I love that I can hear the two of you really listening to each other and trying to move together with your phrasing and articulation and dynamics. And our marking at the beginning, gracieuseement. I think you guys captured that character, that gracious or graceful character really, really well with this piece. It was so light and elegant. So I'm just gonna pick a few things to talk about that will help your piece and your playing shine even more and kind of take it to the next level. So I like what I'm hearing with the phrasing, but I think we can take things even further. So one thing that I really, really like is when we have these pairs of slurred eighth notes that kind of happen all throughout the piece. We're thinking da, da, kind of strong weak for each pair, which is exactly appropriate for this style of music. So let's keep that. It sounds fantastic. But we're gonna create a bigger sense of phrase with that still happening inside of it. So for example, let me pick a good section here that we can play for an example. Here's a good example. So right after the repeat, we have bum ba da 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 dum dee 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 dee. So we have basically the same thing in each measure, but it's a sequence going downwards. So let's start out at like a strong present mezzo forte, maybe even tending towards forte, and we're gonna keep da, dee, dum, that kind of strong weak for each pair, but we're gonna do the first highest measure loudest, second measure slightly quieter, and third measure the softest out of the three. So we're gonna create a diminuendo going across those measures, still thinking that nice shape for each pair inside. Does that make sense? So let's try just those three measures. So pick up to the section right after the repeat. We do one more time.
Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4.
let's pick another section to do this with. Kind of going more toward the end. It's where we have the little scale going up toward the high D. You guys see where that is?
Yeah.
Let's start on the measure before that. So we have the G sharp. Da, da, dee, dee. So we're gonna do that, keep our nice shape of our 8th note pairs, and then really huge crescendo up to the high D, because I think that's our highest note in the piece, so that can kind of be like the most intense, loudest moment of the whole piece. Actually, let's start a little before so we can make it super dramatic. Let's start at the forte, the pickup with the high C's, like 4 measures before that. Do you see where that is?
Yes.
Yeah, excellent crescendo. That sounds super nice and strong. And then let's try same thing on the last 4 measures. We have a forte marked in the pickup to 4 from the end, but let's use that as kind of a midpoint. So maybe start at like a 14 minus, and then we're gonna crescendo up into the high C in the measure before the end, and then do kind of a diminuendo toward the final note in the last measure. So that track. Okay, let's do pick up to 4 from the end. Excellent. That sounds so fantastic. And then I think we still have like 1 minute. When you have the lower voice, in this piece, it's a little bit, the main melody is happening mostly in the upper voice, but we still have some melody moving notes happening in the lower voice, and maybe some trade-offs of the moving notes here and there. So for the lower voice, don't be afraid to really bring out those melodic shapes when you have them. Even if you're in a little lower of a register, let's go right at the repeat 1 more time, and we can kind of go up to like the halfway point before the forte. And let's try to put in more of those crescendos both in the top line and more shapes in the lower line. So we'll try that 1 more time right from the repeat. Thank you two ladies so much for playing today. Your phrasing and everything sounds excellent. I think these things are just things we can do to make our music have even more interest and character. Thank you for playing today.